So today we're going to be working with a lovely horse and rider. The horse is called Sam and the rider is Bo. And neither of them have done any body work as far as we know. I've worked a little lunging with Sam and I've not worked with Bo as a rider yet. And Sue is going to work with Bo with Alexander technique for the first time.
And if any time you want to change the pace, so transition into a trot maybe, or whatever you're comfortable with, just go ahead and do that whenever you feel like. If you want to change your own tempo, it's almost a sort of slight floppiness. So just had a first look at what's happening with Bo, the rider, and Sam, the horse. And first of all, I can see there is a real connection, if you like, between what's happening with her here and what's the throat and chest area and what's happening with Sam in his throat and chest. He looks quite held around this part of his in his throat and around his jaw. And also I'm seeing that there is a slight sort of, I'm using the word floppiness, I'm not quite sure what the right word is, to be honest, and I need to look a little bit more and just put my hands on her, but there's some lack of connection through her body, which is making her legs a bit floppy. It's almost like a hypermobility. So we'll have a look at her again in a second when I work with her on the ground.
Yeah.
So what are you?
First time I've watched her ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you working on at the moment? You're working on actually the
him,
horse.
just loosening up.
And what are you perceiving in him then? That
Tightness through his, what I've seen this morning, tightness through his neck and his jaw, just a little bit of stiffness and a little bit of tendency to curl to the right, which is exactly the same as Tequila was, but just a little bit of curling of the quarters to the right, which is needed straightening up.
Right.
So there's some issues about straightness. There's an issue fundamentally in the lunging, and I think it's going to be exactly the same in the riding, looking at you, of going from the leg, from the seat, forward in front of you, which is, I think, what you were talking about, the floppy, slight looseness and floppiness
my
in the
different
legs.
language,
Yeah, that's right. So it's in having the horse in front of your leg, which is like having the connection with the whip and the arm or whatever else you use lunging, into the outside contact and forward through, so you can get the inside hind leg underneath. So that's where I'm going.
Okay.
I have to say.
Okay.
And a little bit about then balance alignment. Because your lower leg sometimes moves around. Sometimes it's too forward, sometimes it's too back. There's a bit of loss of balance, and you keep yourself very upright in the trunk, which is fantastic. But
my legs
this is all they're off doing their own thing. So that loses connection and the ability to put the hind leg underneath.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going.
Very eloquently put, actually. That's where I was kind of, I was seeing that, but I was fishing. Get the language together. What's your, what is it that you particularly? These horses keep shoving me. What is it that you particularly like to, feel you want to work on?
Well, I'm not very good at breathing, so that doesn't help with the body.
No,
breathing
is
a
pretty
really good
important.
idea.
We usually find that that's kind of a prerequisite.
And I try and stay upright
Okay,
and
yeah.
not let him pull on me because I don't want him to ride off hands. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to focus on elbows.
Right.
But I'm still got my checklist, and it takes me a while until I get my elbows to put my heels down, and I kind of work on different things and I lose different things as I go along.
Right.
But yeah, I've got a lot to work on.
How long have you been riding?
I've been doing therapeutic riding for just over 17 years.
Right.
And then I started doing more correct riding later on. But I've been sitting like literally a sack of potatoes for 17 years.
I wouldn't say sack of potatoes. You've been a bit harsh on yourself.
Or not really, because I was on the lead rein for 17 years.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
And now you've got him.
Yeah.
How long have you had him?
I've had him since 2009.
2009, so 7 years. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What a difference. Brilliant horse. Brilliant horse. Really nice.
And do you have any injuries or, you know?
I
illness or
have no injuries. I have a missing hand.
Well, yes.
Yes.
I dislocated this hand quite a few times because I used to do competition fighting.
Okay.
And I am hypermobile waist down, so
that's what I was
therefore
saying.
That's the hypermobile you were talking about. Yeah.
so I need to work on strengthening those leg muscles
Yes.
because I don't really have control of them, and
Yeah.
my ankles do their own thing.
Yes, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
we were both
that's
picking
kind
that
of what
up.
I was seeing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Okay, brilliant. So what we'll do next is I will now give you a bit of an idea about what what the Alexander technique is. And while I'm doing that and working with you a little bit on the ground, Alison will get some tuning in a bit too.
May I have a sit on
Yes,
him and have a
please.
little walk about what's happening?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes, it'll be exactly what you feel like doing.
Exactly.
Brilliant, thanks.
Do that.